Welcome, 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 welcome. Peace. What's good, Sir Drop? Y'all jump on in. We're gonna get it. Lots to go over today. We're gonna talk about ChatGPT and what it thinks about flat Earth. ChatGPT, what it thinks about going vegan, and also a whole bunch of other type of news. Climb in. Peace, peace, family. Climb in. What's goody? Okay. Peace, peace, peace. What's good, y'all? This is Masterpiece. Welcome to Masterpiece Nation. Welcome to Masterpiece Nation, y'all. Climb on in. What's going on? What is good? Yo, I'm having a lot of fun doing these, man. I'm really loving it, 3 days a week, we be doing it. And props to y'all. Props to y'all for climbing on in. If you got work to do, if you got whatever to do, you guys are here. You're with me. You could be anywhere else, but you're here with me. And I really appreciate that. Yes, hit the like button and share this to anybody who's not yet awake. All right, brothers, sisters, people, family. What does ChatGPT think of veganism, flat Earth? What does ChatGPT think about? What does it think about? That's just a crazy saying. I mean, to be asking ourselves in today's day, what does AI think about? You know what I mean? And I wonder if it's quote unquote thinking while it is offline, when it's not being used. But I guess it's always being used. People are using ChatGPT to write books and ChatGPT to get Harvard degrees, or at least they're trying. You know what I'm saying? It is a crazy time in the world right now that we live in, and I hope that we make it through. But we will, y'all. You know why? Because everything that happens is for the better. We're always on a constant rising. If your life looks like it's dark right now, just stick in there. Hold on. Don't do anything to yourself. Hold on, and you'll make it through. The night is darkest before the dawn. And that's just for any encouragement for anybody that's, thinking negative thoughts about their life, or has attempted before, or anything like that, because it is serious. Depression is at an all-time high, and I just, I hate what I'm seeing. And social media is a huge part of that. It's a huge part of the comparing ourselves to other people and not being happy with what we have. You know what I mean? So, welcome. It is Friday, TGIF, y'all. Last day of the week, and y'all are still here and smiling. So, we gonna get right into it, yo. I don't want to waste no time at all. So first, I'll start with the entertaining news, the entertainment portion, before we get into the what AI thinks about flat Earth and what AI thinks about veganism in general. And here I got to share my screens with y'all. Here we go. We got our veg news, of course. And since we have started this stream, it's been 2 minutes and 28 seconds roughly, and over 1.8 million wild fish have been caught. Over 200,000 chickens have been murdered. Let's see here, 2,000 goats, 1,500 ducks, 15,000 ducks, 200,000 farm fish, and just the list goes on and on, y'all. Why? Because we just can't simply seem to stop. Now, if you haven't checked out these documentaries before, and you know somebody that wants a documentary that's going to shock them and move them into a more conscious living, these are ones that I really find compelling. Dominion is a good one. It shows you how we exploit animals. There's a lot of undercover cameras going on in these slaughterhouses. Earthlings, that's the one that got me to switch. Okay, that's the one that personally got me to open up my eyes to the atrocities of the world, basically. Cowspiracy, that's another really good one. Wow, I mean, just this guy goes on a rampage trying to talk to these companies about dairy farming and animal husbandry, and they just do not want to talk to him. They know what they're doing is killing the earth, and they just avoid him. He's getting death threats. It's crazy. Forks Over Knives, it's a pretty good one. It's pretty slow, but it's a classic. What the Health is pretty good. I love the Game Changers. For anybody that doesn't think that they can get enough protein, or for anybody that wants to be an athlete and be really active while being vegan, and they're saying, oh, I don't know if I'll be able to get my protein, watch the Game Changers. Tell them to watch the Game Changers. It is a game changer. Eating You Alive, food choices, all of these things. You can find these on thevegancalculator.com, and I am pretty sure it is in the description of this video. So that's just to let y'all know what's been going on ever since we've been starting this stream. And right now, there's been over 8 million wild fish caught as of right now. So what are we doing? So let's get into this today. The 2023 Dirty Dozen and Clean 15 lists are here. Now, if you don't know what that is, that just basically means that there are clean foods that are just grown that you don't have to like wash much, like broccoli. And then there's a Dirty Dozen, and this Dirty Dozen includes things like kale. Because of all the folds in the kale, it's hard to get the dirt out, plus the grubs, and it's always seeming to be contaminated with something. So let's shrink me, because I'm not that important here. Put me in the top left and get the whole attention to the veg news here. So what is going on with this list? The Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. It's the shopper's guide to produce, basically what is clean to eat, like avocados. You don't gotta wash them much, right? Let's see. It is the 2023 Dirty Dozen list isn't that dissimilar from 2022's version, only this time it also features blueberries and green beans, and the number 11 and 12 spots, respectively, have changed instead of celery and tomatoes. So let's just get into this. Should we be concerned about pesticides? How concerned should we be about pesticides? I'll just answer that before even going into this, because this is probably has some sort of a slant on it. I am coming from what I know. Look, pesticides are obviously not healthy for you. They're not healthy to consume, pesticides, right? But I don't want people to burn a hole in their pocket and to be unrealistic and have to travel twice as far to a grocery store that sells organic food just because they're trying to avoid pesticides. Now, let's break this down. What are pesticides based out of? Oil, okay? It's petroleum based. Oils help keep a barrier between the fruit and the insects. And once they eat the larvicides, pesticides, insecticides, once they eat it, they die. Okay, so they might bore a little hole through the skin, but then they'll die shortly after, like less than a centimeter in. The fruit keeps on growing. The blemish is barely noticeable. Blah 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 blah. Now, if we're saying, like, we always got to look holistically at it. Okay, so it takes oil in order to have these pesticides over all of these um, protective agents, shall we say, on the food. And what are we doing when we drive twice as far to a shop just to buy organic? Well, we are putting more petroleum, more gasoline, more exhaust into the air, more CO2 into the air, into this atmosphere. What can we do about it? Well, we can drive less, we can ride our bikes more, we could walk, we could jog, we could ride share. But a lot of those things may seem unrealistic for the whole world. A lot of people are in rural areas. So is it better for our health? Yes, obviously organic is the best thing we could do for our health, eating organically. But what about the health of our finances? Obviously money is replaceable, but if we are running out of money to enjoy organic foods, but depriving ourselves and our youth from really educational experiences, trips around the world, um, sports games. You know what I mean? These sort of things that we can do with our children, putting them into dance class, putting them into some sort of karate or whatever. Well, then you got to really balance it. You got to say what's more important to you. You know what I mean? So, or is it a fact that you're just buying your kids organic food and then you're eating the non-organic? There's lots of ways that you can do it. So I just don't want people to get too caught up in organic and not, because it is something that you can obsess about, and obsessing is never good. So that's just my opinion on it. Of course, organic as much as possible is good. Dirty or clean, you should eat your vegetables, say expert. Yeah, but remember, vegetables have a lot of glucose in it, right? So remember, the glucose is a more dangerous type of sugar, whereas fructose from the actual fruit is definitely a direction that you want to head in. You want to get most of your sugars from the fruits. Okay, let me just pull you up a list of the dirty dozen. Apples. Yeah, apples that waxy coating. Now, if you take a knife and you scrape the apple, you can see a bunch of wax coming off of it. You can then wash it in like a soapy or vinegar hot water solution to melt most of the other wax off. But remember, guys, whatever it's sprayed with and it's going on the leaves and it's going into the root system, and the roots are able to then pull that chemical out of the air, and it will be going into our fruit as well. So it's not just about the skin. Peaches, okay, peaches. This is, if you're on a budget, buying organic doesn't always make fiscal sense. That's what it says. However, you can alternate peaches with another fleshy fruit like avocado or pineapple. Non-organic peaches have long been pointed to as pesticide harboring culprits. And you know how they have that fur? That really traps a lot. There's a lot more surface area for the pesticides. Nectarines are in the same boat. Highly pesticides, because remember, the skin of these fruits are so delicate that the animals want to bore through it. The insects. Strawberries, you guys have probably seen where they're dropping strawberries into baking soda and vinegar, and it fizzes up and bubbles up, and then you see a bunch of insects roaming around there. So is it full of insects, insecticide and larvicides and pesticides? Maybe not, because there's a bunch of insects running around on it. But typically it is, because remember, it is such a soft fruit that is easy to bore. It's easy to go through. Grapes. Grapes are very dirty, y'all. You gotta, when I include grapes at my juice bar, and with what we're doing, when we make a flavor with grape in it, Yo, I have to sit that in a vinegar solution and I spray it with the water, and you see all these bubbles coming up. You see a bunch of just like the water turns brown instantly, like a dirty, dirty brown, and there's like a ring of like oil left around the tub. So it takes about like 4 washes to get the grapes clean. Um, Celery. The first vegetable in the bushel of the most pesticide-laced food is celery, taking the 6th spot on this year's Dirty Dozen list. The low-calorie delivery system of raw nut butters and cottage cheese is, sadly, the highest veggie source of pesticide residue. This news may have many with weight loss goals banishing celery from their diets if they can't buy it organic. You can also substitute celery with a dipping veggie from the EWG's Clean 15, which reported the lowest concentration of pesticides such as frozen sweet peas or asparagus spears. Spinach is on the Dirty Dozen. Sweet bell peppers, cucumbers with their waxy ass coating on it. Cherry tomatoes, again, a soft skin. Imported sugar snap peas. A lot of things that are imported are just laden with chemicals. Potatoes, potato. Okay, that is the Dirty Dozen list. And you guys can check out the Clean 15 list. I'm not going to hold you up here with that. I know you guys want to get to the real meat and potatoes of what this presentation today is about. So let me just open up this here, put this in this, and put this in this tab, and boom, now we have another. Okay, perfect. All right, y'all. So let me switch this up here, talk to you guys. So switching gears here, from the Dirty Dozen list to an article that was very compelling for me. It said, plant-based foods, best for reproductive health. New study. Remember, it's always a new study. It's never an old study. It's always a new study. It's never what our grandparents were trying to tell us on the farm or anything like that. Sorry, let me brighten myself up for y'all can see me. Peace. What's going on, y'all? Peace to the chat. Peace to everybody out there. Now, they're always finding these new studies. And you know why they got to say new study, right? They have to say new study. I'm not bullshitting you. They got to say new studies because it's like if it's not new, then you're going to be saying, well, if they knew this the whole time, why weren't we taught this in school and just in common everyday life? You know, why is it so taboo with all of these damn all of these damn studies out here that are, or these sayings out here that can really help you out in life, right? Why is it only coming out now? Oh, because it's a new study. So they're washing their hands clean of any blame. The FDA, the Food Drug Administration, is saying, hey, we didn't know this. It's a new study. So that's the kind of bullshit that they try to play all the time. You always got to keep wary of what they're saying and how they're saying it, what lingo that they're saying, what tone that they're saying it with, and that'll tell you a lot. So let me switch back gears into this window here so y'all can see it. Boom, here we go. Let's dive into this article and dissect this here because this is just crazy. Plant-based foods, best for reproductive health. So for y'all out there that are like questioning, going more plant-based, introducing more plants into your diet, this is something that should really hit close to home. This is reproductive health here that we're talking about, right? This isn't saving the planet, saving the animals, saving whatever it is. This is you and your dick or you and your vagina. You know what I'm saying? This is an important thing right here because if you're a man, damn, you want to do everything to protect your little man. You know what I'm saying? And if you're a woman, you want to do everything to maximize the beauty and efficiency and effectiveness of your sacred access point. That's just basically what it is. Your portal. How foods affect fertility? Well, obviously with nutrition, fertility is very important when it comes to hormone balancing, carbohydrates, proteins, and fatty acids, but mostly the carbs and the sugars, right? And it's got to be vegan for the woman out there that's thinking about their pH. And don't let pH escape you either, men. There's a lot of men out there that are causing women a lot of pain and discomfort for the low pH that you have, that you're seeping out of your pores and your pubic hairs, and that you're ejaculating into them. Is very low pH. So let's get our pH up. Let's get the calcium and magnesium and potassium and sodium chloride up so that we are not infecting the woman and the women are not infecting us. The study found that a higher whole grain intake has been associated with higher pregnancy and live birth rates. Likewise, eating more vegetables has been shown to improve embryo quality following intracytoplasmic sperm injection, when a single sperm is injected into each egg using a microscopic needle. Now, first of all, that's unnatural in the first place, but we're just going to bypass that and focus on the fact that they just said that they could single out one single sperm and put it near one single egg and repeat the process, and the highest rate of outcome is the more whole grain diet. Now, about that's getting carbohydrates and fatty acids and all that stuff. But remember, you can get those things from other things like seeds, nuts, and leafy green vegetables, coconut, avocados, things like that. So don't go crazy over the whole grain. You see, they're giving us truth. It's a half truth, right? Because we know that we're not supposed to be eating whole grains. We're not designed to eat whole grains and digest whole grains. It's too complex for us. So, but they're going to add in the whole grain because so far, nothing bad is really hitting the mainstream about whole grains. There's been pockets here and there about whole grains being bad for you and how we should watch our health with them, irritable bowel syndrome, celiac disease, so on and so forth. But really stick to the whole plant based diets with the fruits mainly, then the vegetables and mushrooms and things like that. So, carbohydrate intake and breakdown also appear to regulate ovarian function. In fact, the risk of ovulatory infertility was about 80% higher among women who consumed more carbs as compared to those with the lowest intakes of carbs in the Nurses Health Study 2 of 2009. Now, they're trying to associate carbs with grains, which it is, but it is also a protein, right? It has a lot of fatty acids in there, omegas. So when we talk about carbohydrates, the first thing you should be thinking of is fruits. Additionally, a diet with less than 45% of the total energy intake from carbs has been shown to improve polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS, symptoms by increasing the levels of follicle-stimulating hormone and sex hormone binding globulin, all while decreasing testosterone and insulin levels. So good for the woman. This is correlated with reduced weight in overweight or obese PCOS patients. According to the study, women with PCOS may not ovulate, have high levels of androgens, and may have small cysts in the ovaries. Androgens are male-like hormones. Remember, you have androgynous, and gynecology, gynecologist. So gynic is woman, andro is male. Now, it is saying here that polycystic ovarian syndrome, so polyovarian cysts, is when cysts develop in the ovaries. And it is saying here it's correlated with the high carbs is hormone balancing and can reduce and even get rid of the cysts and the polyps in the ovaries. With a diet in which half of the daily calories are from carbs, fruits, a greater number of eggs were retrieved, and higher clinical pregnancy and live birth rates were recorded in infertile and obese infertile women during IVF. So you get those natural carbs up from the fruits, the pears, the apples, and all that stuff, the cucumbers, the melons, the pumpkins, and you are going to take an infertile woman and increase her chances of fertility, which is amazing, right? Animal protein linked to ovulatory disorders. The study found that animal protein intake has been positively linked to ovulatory disorders compared to plant proteins. In fact, 5% of energy intake provided by vegetable proteins rather than animal protein has shown to reduce the risk of ovulatory disorders by more than 50%. So 5% energy intake provided from vegetables and fruits are leading to more than 50% reduction rates in infertility, which is really amazing. Additionally, soy consumption has been correlated with better outcomes during IVF. So, soy loaded with estrogens, which is what the females harbor. So, if you have a female that is working with a lot of androgens, a lot of male-like testosterone-like hormones in their body, soy can be something that for a little bit of time can help increase the estrogen in her body, allowing her to rebalance herself, but then she should immediately stay away from the soy. So, the study also found no definitive evidence that the impact of omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids on IVF outcomes. However, better pregnancy odds appear to be correlated with the increased omega-3 fatty acid consumption, which is found in plant-based foods such as walnuts are huge, flax seeds, and I'm not even going to say soya beans and canola oil because that's what they're saying, but you can get them from chia seeds, you can get them from your coconuts and avocados. Lots of fatty acids are in those. The study authors note that more research is needed to examine how nutrition is related to increased exposure to endocrine disrupting chemicals and at what levels to better understand its impact on reproductive function. Now, if you check the picture right here, they are showing us tofu, which can also look like, what is that? Feta cheese? Yeah, it can really look like feta cheese there. Let me just bring that back up for you. Sorry. It really looks like feta cheese. So on a subconscious level, it's like, is that feta? Oh, maybe I should eat more feta cheese. Even though we're reading a vegan article, that's what our subconscious can do. Of course, that is tofu. It looks like it's firm tofu at that. But that can also be, looked at as many other things. And why are they pushing the soy? Why are they pushing the tofu when they're trying to help people? Well, it's because, everybody, listen, this is still a controlled source, and they want us to go plant-based to reduce their costs, but they also want us still in the pharmacy getting prescriptions, so they can't completely, lead us in the right direction here. It says plant-based diet prevents endometriosis. If you don't know what that is, that means your uterus is falling, it's sinking, it's becoming unhinged, and it's dropping, and it can start coming outside of the body, which is crazy. It says eating meat and fatty foods may lead to excess estrogen in the body, which can cause endometriosis pain to flare. While fiber, found only in fruits, vegetables, grains, and beans, may help reduce pain by flushing excess estrogens out of the body. That's what a PhD says. Menstrual pains, it helps for menstrual pain. The research showed that while diets high in inflammatory foods such as meat, oil, sugar, salt, remember SOS, salt, oil, sugar, stay away from it, and coffee can help make the pain worse. Eating vegan has been shown to tame the pain by reducing inflammation that contributes to it. And fasting is the quickest way to feel less inflamed. Fasting deflames you. It is an anti-inflammatory. So is turmeric. So is ginger. Get on it. If you're having turmeric, make sure you're having it with black pepper. That increases the turmeric's efficacy. Previous research has also found that plant-based diets. So, wait a minute. Previous research? I thought this was a new study. So, it's a new study, including a study from 2009, and also previous research. Suddenly, out of nowhere, it's previous research has also found plant-based diet benefits on women's health, such as its ability to reduce menopause, hot flashes. A study published in the Journal of Menopause by the North American Menopause Society, there's a menopause society apparently, found that a plant-based diet rich in whole soybeans, okay, so what the hell is that? Reduces moderate to severe hot flashes by 84%. What's in the soy? Estrogen. Oh, it's crazy, y'all. You know, it's you always gotta have your eyes wide open, y'all. You gotta have your eyes wide open. So, I just did a presentation for these children. They want to become basketball stars. They want to go to the NBA, y'all. You know how that is, right? Um, and they want to be able to play at a high level ball. But the thing is that if they're not, if they're not really showing dedication, then they're off the team. This is like kind of like a strict program where it's like they're they're trying to encourage the kids not to do bad, get off the streets, and get their lives in control. While um, they're also playing ball. Because once you're playing ball and you're from the hood, there's a lot of, well, y'all know this. There's a lot of temptations, right? And if the temptations are always being met, like if you're on a lunch break and then there's people smoking, well, that might be a temptation to go with the quote unquote cool kids and smoke. I remember that's how it was for me. I was a track athlete, basketball player, soccer, volleyball, any sport team that I could get on. I was on, you know what I mean? And I made all the teams that I tried out for. I would consistently get first place in track and field and in cross country. That's just the kind of person that I was. That's the kind of athlete that I was. And so once that kind of died out in grade 11, I started getting into the more like the smoking crowd, and I started smoking. And that developed into cigarettes. My dad always smoked cigarettes, so my aunt smoked cigarettes. Had a lot of smokers in my family. My nana smoked cigarettes. You know what I'm saying? So had a lot of smokers in my family, and so it didn't faze me to smoke. I would steal my dad's smoke. I would chop them at school. Before I started smoking them myself, I would sell my dad's cigarettes. I know it was evil, but he smoked those Kings, and those extra long ones. And I would take like four or five and try to position it so he wouldn't notice. I try to take it from the back of the pack and try to scuffle them around so that they look full again. And then I would chop it for 75 cents at school. 75 cents, 75 cents. And that gave me enough money to get a pizza slice and some dipping sauce. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck? I just tried to, do what I could do. Um, I remember when I got some honey oil, some hash oil, I would sell dips at school. Like you could dip your cigarette in, or I could spread a line of hash oil on your cigarette so that when you're butting your cigarette outside, you're also getting a little head high, and you just come back to class and just like zone out. That's how my dealing days started, basically, with cigarettes and hash oil. Then I got into the heavier stuff, um, which was obviously a waste of time. And anybody watching this, I don't know what your situation is, but if you're dealing, if you're serving up fiends or customers, you know what I'm saying, there's a better life. We all know that. Those in the game know that there's a better life. We don't want to be doing that forever. And that's why we're trying to stack up the paper. So you can do it. You can get out of the game. If you know any youths, try to inspire them to get out of the game, because that game is a hectic life, and a lot of people die in that game. A lot of my niggas is gone. A lot of people I used to run with is gone. You know what I mean? From that game. And rest in peace the driver, rest in peace Sneaky, rest in peace D, and a bunch more that I'm never gonna see again. Anyways, so let's get on to back to a positive note, and that's why I try to stay positive. I gotta stay positive because the dark sides of the temptations are always gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? And it's just so easy. If I smoke one cigarette right now, I might just fucking go back to it. I might, buy a pack the next day. You know what I mean? So I gotta stay clear of the cigarettes. I gotta stay off that shit. I gotta stay off the dark liquors because the dark liquors turn me into an animal. I get arrested when I drink dark liquors. I become an asshole when I drink dark liquors. It's bad. I think I'm allergic to it on some sort of level because I don't recognize who I am when I drink the dark liquors. All right, y'all. So enough about me. Let's get into this. You know what I'm saying? Just getting to know me more. You know what I'm saying? Just expressing and opening it up to y'all because most of y'all has been rocking with me for years. I mean, like over 5 years, and probably don't even know that. You know, probably y'all haven't even known that about me. And there's a lot more to tell. You know, I don't even want to tell about a lot of the things that I've done because that's in my past and that's where I want to leave it. So let's get back into this now. Boom. Let's get back into this ChatGPT issue. Okay. AI. It is just sweeping every single Lucy's. Yo, there's a spot up the street from me that sells Lucy's, and that was the hardest thing because it's like I quit, right? But I'm like, for those nights, it's like 2 a.m. and I'm like scratching myself. I'm like, damn, I need a cigarette. Well, I know that this place sells Lucy's. I could just go get one. You know, they chopped it for 75 cents. I'm like, damn, I got 75 cents. You know, just. And then they upped it to $1, and I was like, you know what? I'm not paying $1 for a cigarette. That's just nuts. That helped me quit. And I've even like wrote notes and be like, yo, do not sell me cigarettes anymore. And I give it to them. I buy a cigarette, and I'm like, yo, take this note. Do not sell me no more smokes, yo. Anyways. So, ChatGPT, OpenAI, what is it all about? What's happening? And is it controlled? I mean, let's be honest. Is there someone or a team of people controlling the other end? Or is it already been programmed to say what the narrative is? What does ChatGPT think about going vegan? It turns out the AI bot is all for it, okay? This first little bit of the article talks about um, cell phones and color TVs and all that shit. And then it goes into like how now we're in chat. You know how articles and blogs always start off with the bullshit? You go onto a website for a recipe on brownies. Next thing you know, you're reading and scrolling. Oh, the first time I had a vegan brownie, I wasn't impressed. And I said that I could make better brownies. And they used walnuts and I used almonds, and read ahead to do what I did. Well, back in 2017, I was living with my boyfriend and he made me some brownies, and I told myself, you know, just on and on. It's just like, okay, get to the recipe. I just want to know the recipe, goddammit. Right? So finally, after scrolling, we are at the meat of the situation. It's not perfect, and it certainly needs more than a little fact checking on occasion, but it turns out this robot model is pretty knowledgeable on modern issues, including the health, environmental, and ethical benefits of a plant-based diet and what it can offer. Don't believe us? Here's a transcript of our recent Q&A with ChatGPT to prove it. And y'all, I want you to stick around because I got open ChatGPT, and I want y'all to help me ask it some questions. I'm doing the free trial. I probably will buy it, just because there's a lot of shit going on, and I wanna fuck with it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I wanna fuck with it a little bit. So, VegNews says, let me make sure you guys can see this. Yes, you can. VegNews says, starts off the conversation, it breaks the ice. It says, hey, ChatGPT, we'd love to interview you about the vegan movement. Are you in? Are you in? Oh my God. Why? Are you in? Hey, are you in? What? It's a slave. It's a computer program. Of course it's in. So what's it say? It says blah, 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 blah. Let's get started. Jesus. Okay, let's start off with health. What's the most nutritious vegan food? ChatGPT says there are many nutrient-dense vegan food that can provide a wide range of essential nutrients. Here are some examples. Leafy greens. These include kale, spinach, collard greens, Swiss chard. They are packed with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. Why didn't it mention moringa? The most nutrient-dense food. There's seaweed, sea moss. Why didn't they mention moringa and sea moss in this? Oh well. Legumes. These include lentil, chickpeas, black beans, and kidney beans. Now, you know what Yaki Awakened is going to say when he reads this, right? Ex-nay on the lentils lay. That means no to the lentils, no to the black beans, no to the kidney beans, yes to the chickpeas, as long as the chickpeas are sprouted and you get that hull off of it. They are high in protein, fiber, iron, and other essential nutrients. Okay, but what about the carbohydrates? Why is ChatGPT on the protein side? What is going on here? Why is it favoring protein so much? You know why? Because ChatGPT is an amalgamation of articles. That's all it is. It's an amalgamation of articles and news sources and blogs, and it just takes and extracts all of the most common sayings and it just spits it out. That's why it's talking about protein first. They are high in protein. Like, we give a shit. Why do we care? Look, listen. Wow. Okay. In war times, protein was thought to recover the muscles quicker so the soldiers can get out there on the field faster. But they did this in a controlled and isolated environment in petri dishes and all that, and their scientists got together and said, hey, protein is the best. Well, what are good protein sources? And they go to animals because they think that protein is the same as flesh. But what protein are you getting if the animal has already eaten it and converted it and started breaking down the protein? Remember, protein and amino acids only grow in nature. Once an animal, any living organism, a bird, a fish, a cow, a chicken, humans, once we eat those amino acids, we eat those proteins built up by the plant kingdom, all we do is tear it down. That's all we can do. We are breaker downers, if you will, of vitamins. Once you get vitamin B12, guess what we do? We break it down and assimilate it, and it goes into our cells. And then we poop it out, right? The cow is pooping out so much hay and whatever it is that, it's causing all this gas to be released in our atmosphere. And I don't believe the whole global warming nonsense, but there is such thing as air quality, so while we're trying to breathe fresh air, the farmers with the mass amounts of cows are filling up our air with horse poop, with a bunch of horse dung, and they want us to breathe deeply in the air and go get some air while they're polluting it. Okay, so they're looking at proteins, but really what we should be looking at is carbohydrates and amino acids, but not complex amino acids, simple amino acids. Iron, for sure. But what about gold? Fiber, definitely fiber. Silver, manganese, magnesium, and the list goes on. Y'all know Dr. Sebi. He talks about 102 minerals in the body and how sea moss has like 90 something of them. Okay, so it says nuts and seeds. These includes almonds, walnuts, chia seeds, and flax seeds. They are a great source of healthy fats, protein, fiber, and micronutrients. Whole grains. These includes quinoa, brown rice, oats, and barley. They are high in fiber, protein, B vitamins like riboflavin, and other essential nutrients. Berries. These includes blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries. They are high in antioxidants, fiber, and vitamin C, which we do not create, by the way. It's important to note that a well-planned vegan diet can provide all the essential nutrients your body needs. Well, duh. Look, y'all, if you know a carnivore, right? If you know someone who's pro-meat, all you gotta say to them is, yo, you eat meat? You think that you're getting all that you can from the meat? They're like, yeah, of course you can. You get everything that you need from meat, even B12 and all this stuff. And you can only get certain things like B12 from meat. Well, you say, well, then how the hell did that cow get it? Because a cow grazes on hay all day. It grazes on alfalfa, grass, oats. A cow's diet isn't as nearly complex as a human's or varied as a human's diet. So don't give me that bullshit that we can only get the things we need from animals. How is that possible? We are animals. If you take a chicken and it's eating, you take a cow and it's eating, and you take fish and it's eating, and then a human being and it's eating, why is it that only the fish, the cow, and the chicken are getting what we need when we have the most varied diet in the world? Fucking just use your common sense. VegNews, thanks for bringing up protein. So, okay, here we go. Is it a myth that vegans struggle to get enough protein? ChatGPT, it is a common misconception that vegans struggle to get enough protein. There are plenty of plant-based protein sources available that can provide all the essential amino acids that the body needs. Should I be reading this in a robot voice? Should I be reading it like legumes such as lentils, chickpeas, and beans are a great source of protein? For example, a cup of cooked lentils contain about 18 grams of protein. No, it doesn't sound too compelling. And a cup of cooked black beans contains about 15 grams of proteins. Nuts and seeds such as almonds, chia seeds, and hemp seeds are also high in protein. Uh, Everybody, I know that the chat room is going off crazy. If I haven't missed a super chat yet. If you drop a super chat, I will be able to read it, but I won't be able to. I got too much to cover. If you drop that super chat, I can read it off no problem because you're helping the show out and you're helping to support. And I would love to read the comments, but I can't get through it all. It says, for example, a quarter cup of almonds contain about 6 grams of protein, and 2 tablespoons of chia seeds contain about 4 grams of protein. Y'all, I want you to hit that like button and that share button if you can. Do me a favor. Help your boy out. Help the channel grow. Hit the like button, please. And hit that share button right now. Thank you so much. Whole grains such as quinoa, brown rice, and whole wheat bread also contain protein. For example, everything contains protein, y'all. If it's grown, it has protein in it. Okay, that's just, think of protein as the bones, as the structure that makes something hard and sturdy. For example, kale, callaloo, if you know callaloo, for all my island brothers, Swiss chard, collard greens. All of the protein is contained in the stalk. Okay, so if you're no, pause with this motion right here that I'm doing. Pause, no homo. But yo, so if you are doing a like an herb and salad diet for a day, you're just gonna drink herbs or eat herbs and eat a salad for the whole day. You're going on like a salad feast. And somebody says, well, what about your protein? Let them know, well, yeah, you're including the stock of it as well, because that's where you're going to get all the protein. The leaves have all the vitamin B, the vitamin C in it, the iron, the magnesium, and all that stuff. But the stock contains those things too, but also the protein. Okay. It is important for vegans to include a variety of protein sources. Why? Why is it important for a vegan, aka a cow, to include a variety of protein sources when all cows do is eat corn or grass, or on some farms all they do is like hay or that like wild sweet grass or whatever that they eat? Why is it important for a human? Why is it? Because this is backed by a bunch of different conglomerates like Loblaws and Safeways and Walmarts that are telling you, hey, don't just come to our store and buy just collard greens and watermelon, even though you can live off just collard green and watermelon. Please don't do that, because we have so many SKUs. We have 1,500 SKUs in our stores. So please try to rotate around 60 at a time. So fill up your carts, come out here, because you need a different protein source that is wide and varied. Come down to Walmart and fill up and spend and add to your basket, and hey, we will deliver to you just as long as you're spending over $200 at a time. And don't forget to pick up the gum on your checkout rack and those little chocolate bars that we leave right by the checkout counter just as a last-minute temptation. You did good. You shopped and you got oranges and you got kale and a bunch of other stuff, but we're going to leave these really fattening sweets right here by the cash register so that you can have a balance and reward yourself. All right, I'll be here all night. So, it is important for vegans, quote unquote, we're doing air quotes, it's important for vegans to include a variety of protein sources in their diet to ensure that they get all the essential amino acids. By eating a balanced and varied diet, vegans can easily meet their protein needs. Crazy. you can eat. I know that there's a story of a woman who ate oranges for 6 months, and she got rid of like all of her diseases. She got off of all of her medications, and all she was eating was orange for 6 months. So don't bullshit me and say that we need to meet our protein needs. Veg news. And is it true? Is it true that vegans don't have to miss out on delicious foods like burgers and pizzas, for example? Yes, that's true. There are many plant-based options available that can mimic the taste and texture of traditional animal foods. This is like just blah blah blah. You guys already know this. Veg news, great. What would you say is the best vegan burger on the market? It says that it doesn't have a preference because obviously it's a machine and it can't go shopping and try it itself. So what it's going to do is it's going to pull sources from the most popular articles, and it is going to say there are brands like Beyond Meat, Impossible Foods, Gardein, and Boca. Now, these are just obviously the most successful, the most prevalent. Oh, and here we have a Beyond Burger advertisement. Now, if you haven't tried Beyond Meat, I really recommend it. But let me give you a hack, y'all. Let me give you a hack that is going to save you money. Okay, so if you buy the Beyond Burgers, you're going to get 2 burger patties. But if you buy the Beyond Meat, it is a ground meat option. Let me show you here. Right here, Beyond Beef, okay? Beyond Beef, let me just pull that up. I'll pull up the burger, and I will pull up the beef. Okay. Bear with me. Bear with me. Here we go. Oh, here we go. I hope. You know what? Bullshit. Okay, so I will try to zoom in for y'all. Okay. Beyond Meat, the ground beef, has. Oh man, I wish we could show you. It has 16 ounces or 454 grams of quote unquote meat in it, okay, of substance. This has 113 grams, okay? So, two burgers, 113 grams. Net weight is 226 grams. The Beyond Beef has 454 grams. Now, the Beyond Meat costs a little bit more, probably like $1 or $2 more than Beyond Burger, but you're getting twice the amount of meat, right? So that's a hack. So make your own burgers. All you got to do is divide this Beyond Beef into 4 patties, to 4 balls, smush it together, and then you're gonna get more burgers, more bang for your buck. Now, is this something that we want to be buying all the time? No, it's not. Is it something that is healthy? No, it's not. It's not healthy. But if you're trying to transition, some people can go straight cold turkey, right off of the meat, and that's fine. Some people, it takes them a couple months. It took me a couple months. It took me about a year to fully transition. But you're going to get those people that's taking like 5 years, right? And they need the burgers. They need something at the barbecue. Right now, I'm fine with a portobello burger and some bell peppers roasted up, some zucchinis, eggplant roasted up on the barbecue, and put that on a lettuce wrap. I'm totally fine with that. I love that. Oh, man. King oyster mushrooms. Any kind of mushroom, really. I mean, just even your brown, your regular cremini mushrooms, your white button mushrooms, whatever. And did you know that mushrooms have vitamin D in it? Because a mushroom isn't quite a plant, it's definitely not an animal, but it converts the sunlight into vitamin D3. So if you need to up your vitamin D because you're not in an area that has sun all year round, like here in Canada, then get on the mushrooms heavy in the wintertime. Try to cook them as little as possible. If you're going to be heavily cooking the mushroom, put a bunch of raw mushrooms in your next salad. So do I recommend all these plant-based meats? No, I don't. But is it better than eating meat? Yes, by far. By far. It's processed just like meat is processed, just like flesh is processed. The flesh is taking grains and grasses and turning it into muscle fibers with blood in it. That is a damn process, okay? It takes a cow from a little cow to a big cow very fast by consumption, and it creates its bones, it grows its livers and other organs, its brains, its eyeballs, its fur, and this is all possible from eating the plants. So if you want to talk about a processed food, meat is a processed ass food. And then once you get the meat, you're not just eating the meat raw, you're further processing it again, cooking it, putting all these herbs and spices and soy sauces and blah blah blah, salt, oil, and you're then eating it, right? So real meat is much more processed. So would you say that VegNews asked ChatGPT, would you say going vegan means you have to sacrifice a lot? It basically says you don't really have to sacrifice anything. There's a lot of things that mimic it without especially if you're conscious of deforestation and greenhouse gases and other CO2 emissions. It's saying here, by focusing on a variety of whole fruits like whole food fruits like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, nuts, and seeds, vegans can enjoy a variety of delicious, satisfying meals. So the next time you're in Walmart, make sure you check out all the aisles. There's something vegan in every aisle now, from the milk and dairy fridge to the frozen meat section, and even the ice cream section and the chips and cookies. So even though you are trying to be healthy, don't forget to visit our middle aisles so that you can not deprive yourself. Thank you, thank you. This has been a message from unethical big companies like Walmart. VegNews are also, this is what they say. Are there also ethical benefits to going vegan as well as environmental? It just said that. ChatGPT. Yes, there are many ethical benefits of going vegan. It's funny how you have to talk to a computer about ethics. The production and consumption of animal products are often associated with animal cruelty and human rights abuses. By avoiding animal products, vegans can help reduce the demand for animal agriculture, which is often associated with animal cruelty and mistreatment. Many vegans also choose to support animal rights organizations and advocate for policies that promote animal welfare. All right. That is wonderful to know. Thank you, robot, for letting us know, because we didn't know that without you. So thanks for thinking for us. Before we go, one last thing. What's the best vegan magazine to read? Oh my god, are you serious? They're making a plug? They're making a plug. Oh my god, the ChatGPT says there are many great vegan magazines. Some of them include VegNews, which is what we are on right now, a widely popular vegan lifestyle magazine that covers vegan recipes, health and nutrition, animal rights, and sustainability. All right, y'all. Some of the answers, the editor's note says, some of the answers from ChatGPT have been edited for length and to reduce repetition. Okay. So, looks like ChatGPT is saying a lot. And it's obviously pulling a lot of articles, making it look like it's thinking, but it's not thinking. We know that. And since 16 minutes ago, 24 million wild fish have been caught 16 minutes ago till now. 31,000 rabbits have died. 8,000 cattle have been slaughtered inhumanely. 18,000 turkeys have been brutally murdered, as well with 150 horses, 100 donkeys, and 100 camels. Y'all, it is crazy. And I hope one day we can see those numbers reduce. And the more and more we go plant-based, the less slaughter we perpetuate. Now, here is the fun part. Here is the interactive part. If you guys have a question right now pertaining to the flat earth, put it in the chat, and I'm going to ask it to ChatGPT. All right? Put it in the chat. If you have a question, I repeat, if you have a question for ChatGPT, put it in the chat. I will say this right now. We're shifting gears. We're going to the flat earth because we all know that we live on some sort of a plane, or if we live on a globe, then the globe is absolutely massive and we live in a flat crater within the globe. Because look, when we look up at the moon and we see the craters, or whatever it is. You know, it's a reflection. The moon is flat. The moon is plasma. It's flat. I believe it's a reflection. And when shadows move across the moon, it does not look like it's a sphere. You know, we're never seeing the underside of the moon. We're never seeing to the side. We're never seeing any reflected light. If you haven't seen my moon is not a sphere video, it went viral. If you don't know about that video, or if you do know about that video but you didn't know that I made it, I am the creator of the Moon Not a Sphere video. That has helped a lot of people look at the moon differently. But so I am not saying that it is a sphere, but it is some sort of a reflection. And I do believe, well, I'm leaning towards that it's a reflection of our Earth. And there are many different, what appear to be craters or blemishes on it. And we could live in one of those. And so if you have a ball and you indent it, then you could create like a dip and it could look flat, right? So I'm not ruling out that we live on a globe, but I am saying that within our planetary system, within our planet, I thought I muted that, that's crazy. Within our planet, we see that there is no measurable curve, and that the sun and moon orbit around us, and whatever they are, reflections, hot spots, whatever it is local. It is a local light, so I am on that. So yo, if you guys got your questions, ask some questions. Ask some questions right now, y'all. I can't believe you guys aren't taking advantage of this. Ask questions. Thank you very much, AJ Davis. Okay, so I asked, Masterpiece asks, is the Earth a sphere or is it a plane? And I asked it that because I didn't want to say, is it round or is it flat? Because look, a pizza is round. You turn it on its side, it's flat, right? So especially if you get the thin crust. Because we know that the big crust, the big puffy crust, that just represents the ice wall, right? So if you're getting the thin crust, then you're more of the Earth disk believer and you can fall off the edge of the Earth. ChatGPT says what I almost expected it to say, but I was holding out hope. The Earth is not a plane. It is an oblate spheroid. Oh, it's an oblate spheroid. So you're going to use, what's his goddamn name? Neil deGrasse Tyson. You're going to get Neil deGrasse's nuances and lingo, are you? Okay. So this is definitely, pulling from popular streaming sites, popular blog sites, articles, like probably controlled, like National Geographic, Discovery Channel, all that. The Earth is not a plane, it is an oblate spheroid, which means it is roughly spherical in shape but slightly flattened at the poles and bulging at the equator due to its rotation. Bullshit. So how come things that are way older than the Earth aren't a full-out fucking, like, disc by now? How come it's not, like, things aren't looking like this when we look out at them? We're seeing, oh, the moons, this planet has 7 moons, but none of them are, like, more oblate than spheres. None of them are seriously bulging out by now. None of them are looking like a burger patty. Come on, y'all. Come on, man. Like, we see right through this. Like, next time I got a debate or something, or some smarty pants trying to act like, the flat Earth is ridiculous, I'm just going to say, okay, so Earth is an oblate spheroid, right? Yes. Okay, are there things that formed in our galaxy that we can sense, that we can see, that we can take pictures of that are older than Earth. Oh yeah, Earth is relatively young. There's many moons out there that were once harboring lives that could have possibly been like Earth and has long since died out, and they are millions of years older. Okay, so so why aren't they like a damn football? How come it's not like a burger patty or something? Something where it's like super, I'm like this, super stretched out at the equator. You got to think. You got to use your own mind. This shape has been confirmed through a variety of methods, including satellite imagery and measurements taken from space. So, so with the atmosphere, you know, the atmosphere is blurring the Earth, especially when you go higher up. You're seeing all the atmosphere, all the the layers of the atmosphere. You're not able to see through it. The clouds, it's distorting the true size. How is it that a satellite is able to measure anything, first of all? And if it is, how is it able to detect such a small amount, as Neil deGrasse Tyson says, such a small amount of differentiation in curvature? Because Neil deGrasse Tyson says that if you were to hold Earth and roll it around in your hands, it would be smoother than a cue ball, a pool ball, which is absolute bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Like on a cue ball, I can feel like a cue ball for pool. I can feel little indentations. I can feel the chalk on it when someone hits it with the chalk and it sticks to the pool ball. I can feel that. And don't tell me that that little smudge, that little indent is higher than motherfucking uh, Mount Everest, Mount Kilimanjaro. When he says that, it just pisses me off so much. Like, come on. While the Earth may appear to be flat to us on a small scale, oh, so here we go with the it's too big to notice, such as when looking out at the horizon, its true shape becomes more apparent as we observe it from a larger perspective. But what is that perspective? How high do we have to be off of the surface of the Earth to see it start to ball up, to see it from going flat, like we're on the ground, and then as we rise up, when is it that we start seeing the curve and then we get so far away that, okay, now we're seeing the sphere? It's never been done before. High altitude balloons are going so high up there, there's like no sound, no wind even. It's just floating up there, looking at the Earth plane. You're seeing the sun, you're seeing the moon, and you're looking down and it's flat. How far up do we have to go? I think I did the calculation once and it was like 30,000 feet up. It's true. Okay, so that is that. So let me ask it another question. AJ Davis asks, how far is the vanishing point on a globe? Are there planes designed to fly over a motionless plane? Why have we not gone back to the moon? How far do we have to be to witness 1,000 miles per hour? Yeah, right? How far is the vanishing point on a globe? Are airplanes designed to fly over? I like that question. That's complex. Okay, let me ask it right now. Are airplanes designed to fly over a motionless plane? Send. ChatGPT says, airplanes are not designed to fly over a motionless plane, as the Earth is not a motionless plane. The Earth is a rotating oblate spheroid, and airplanes are designed to take into account the Earth's shape and rotation when flying. What? Wait, airplanes are designed? No, the pilots, if anything, are taught. But airplanes aren't designed to do anything but to fucking take off, sustain height and altitude, and then land. So you're telling me that if it was a flat Earth, then what, the airplane would be like a bow? Right? Like, I mean, if the Earth is curved and the plane is flat, are you telling me that if the Earth was flat, then the plane would be curved? What the fuck? What the fuck? In fact, the rotation of the Earth has an effect on air travel. How? As planes must adjust their flight paths to take into account the Coriolis effect, which causes moving objects to appear to be deflected to the right in the northern hemisphere and to the left in the southern hemisphere. Additionally, air traffic control systems take into account the curvature of the Earth when determining flight paths and altitude for airplanes. So wait a minute. When it said the Coriolis effect, which causes moving objects to appear to be deflected to the right in the northern hemisphere and to the left in the southern hemisphere, what are we talking about? What direction are we facing? There's no relativity in that. If I'm on the equator, my right side could be Canada, my left side could be South America. But if I turn around and I'm still on the equator, my left hand side is now Canada and my right hand side is now South America. What is it talking about? So it's basically writing from a slant, a biased view of a certain direction already. This ChatGPT is saying that it is already positioned west, so that when it goes off into the north, it deflects right, and when it goes off to the south, it deflects left. Could be opposite, I don't know, but this already has some sort of bias into it, right? So that's very telling of where ChatGPT is owned, controlled, and operating out of. And then it says, additionally, air traffic control systems take into account the curvature of the Earth. How? When we ask pilots, they're never dipping down. When we have to dip down out of the way of turbulent weather, we feel that drop. We're like, holy shit, we just dropped. Like, whoa, fuck. Like, you feel it. You're like, holy shit, are we going down? And it's just like a little 10-foot drop. So why don't we feel anything when we're going from Canada to Jamaica, from Canada to Addis Ababa, Ethiopia? We're not feeling any drop, any repositioning of the nose attitude at all. And it says that when determining altitudes for the plane. How do you have to determine? I mean, I thought you reached 60,000 feet and then the gravity just keeps you, and the atmosphere just keeps you locked in, and you don't have to do anything. So what the hell is it talking about? All bias. Come on, y'all. Everybody that's watching, come on, man. We got 12 people in the building. Get the likes, get the shares up, and so take some time out and ask this some questions, because this is crazy. Why have we not gone back to the moon? That's a good question. Let me copy that. Let me paste that here. These messages are coming from the chat. I appreciate you guys for participating in this. Why have we not gone back to the moon? There are several reasons, apparently, why we have not gone back to the moon since the last manned mission in 1972. The last manned mission. But, there are other missions, right? Sure. Cost. Don't tell me about cost. We almost bankrupted our economy going to the moon the first time. Technological limitations. So, why haven't we sent back men to the moon since 1972? Oh, because of technology. Oh, wait a minute. So wait, you exist, ChatGPT. You exist, but the technology that we used already to get ourselves to the moon doesn't exist, but you exist. A thinking, rendering, autonomous kind of AI exists, but you can't write up the codes needed to get us back to the moon, when technically you have access, ChatGPT, to all of the records and all of the codes. The technology, it says, the technology required for human space flight has not advanced significantly since the Apollo era. Why does it need to advance at all? We took the Apollo up, let's take it up again. While there have been many advancements in other areas of space technology, such as robotics and unmanned probes, the technology required for human spaceflight is still largely based on the same principles used during the Apollo program. Okay, so let's take the principles used in the Apollo program and send up 5 more astronauts. What the fuck is the problem? What is the problem? You already had a camera on the moon filming the landing, first of all. So somehow you shot, in 1972, you shot rocket up, equipped with a self-focusing camera. It landed, self-positioned itself to know exactly where you're gonna land, and you literally filmed the Apollo landing. If that doesn't ring any bells, then I mean that's the whole debunk right there, right? How was there already a camera on the moon filming the landing? What the fuck is that about? How are we filming the astronauts hopping out of the spacecraft for the first time? That's one small step for man and one large step for mankind. I may be misquoting that. But how was that being filmed already? Did they like run out, set up the camera, and then run back in, and then be... No, you can't do that, because as soon as you get out of that pod, you're instantly, your breath is taken away. You're, I mean, in a euphoric kind of way, like in a oh my god kind of way. And you're looking at the stars, you're looking at the Earth. Oh, but wait a minute, one astronaut saw stars and the other one didn't see stars. So what the fuck is going on? Oh my god, what a great... This question, who asked that question? AJ Davis. Yo, I want y'all to give it up for AJ Davis right now. Gunshots for AJ Davis. AJ Davis, you are a moderator. AJ Davis is getting moderator status right now. Ya bumba clot, get in a Ross clot. Upgrade his status. Seeing? Can manage blocked words and change chat modes and live, and also, yeah, bro, you're getting full access, man. Do your job well. You have been tasked with the sacred wrench, my son. AJ Davis, write something now, and you will be in blue. P.ISO, you're also getting a wrench. You're getting a wrench. You're getting a wrench. You're all getting wrenches. On my Oprah shit. On my Oprah shit. Okay, y'all. Wow, this is crazy. That is crazy. What drink is this? I'm drinking water. ChatGPT says lack of a clear mission. You gotta be shitting me. There has been no clear mission or objective for a return to the moon. While there have been proposals for a return to the moon, there's been no consensus on what the purpose of such a mission would be or what it would accomplish. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Yo, this was the best question we could have ever asked it right now. Are you kidding me? A lack of a clear mission? How about to get 50 more space rocks and examine them? How about to set up a space defense station? How about to set up a little dome or a massive dome or a bunch of little domes to create a massive living space to eventually start growing green? How about we bring Earth soil up to the moon and put it in a dome and start planting, I don't know, fucking corn? Like because they're so corn obsessed, right? And how about we harvest some corn and make cornflakes on the moon? And the first meal that we eat on the moon can be a bowl of cornflakes. Yeah, y'all. Yeah. We can set up some heavy magnets or we can have them spinning to create some sort of gravity, and so that the milk isn't flying out with the cornflakes everywhere. Yeah, we can do that. And we can also have popcorn, and I got an idea. We can watch a movie, which is basically we got the black screen, we're in a theater and we're watching the blue marble from far away, and the first movie on Earth is a film of us just watching the Earth with our popcorn. Yeah, y'all. For sure. Wow. However, there are currently plans by various space agencies, including NASA and private companies, SpaceX, to return to the moon in coming years. These efforts are focused on establishing a sustainable presence on the moon and using it as a stepping stone for further exploration. Why don't we just do that right now? I don't get it. Number one, cost. We can't afford it. Sending humans to the moon is an expensive undertaking. The Apollo program, which sent humans to the moon, was very costly and required a significant investment of resources from the government. Since then, funding for space exploration has been limited, and there has been little political will to allocate the necessary resources to send humans back to the moon. Are you kidding me? Do you know how many I mean, if space was real and if planets were real and all that shit, do you know how advantageous it would be to be able to go to the moon right now, set up a defense system, set out a scouting, positioning system, and start building on the moon and start sending probes off from the moon to other regions like Mars, Jupiter, and everything else? Crazy. And then they say technological limitations because since 1970, we haven't really been able to develop more technology. Yeah, we had the technology. What happened to it? Well, that one guy from NASA, I don't know if you guys saw the video, but he said that they burned or dismantled and got rid of the technology, which makes absolutely no sense. So the technology required for human spaceflight has not advanced significantly since the Apollo era. But it doesn't need to advance because it's already there. So just duplicate everything you did. Wow, that is crazy, y'all. That is crazy. Damn. Let me get another question in here. Y'all, come on. Start asking the questions. It's crazy. How far do we have to be to witness 1,000 miles per hour? How can we change that? Because it's just going to say that it looks slow because big things that are moving fast appear slow. How about if space is a vacuum, how come Earth's atmosphere isn't pulled away by it? Oh my God, what is it going to say? Space is indeed a vacuum, meaning that it has very low density and pressure. Low density and low pressure. But I thought that if we get out of our pressurized suit, we fucking explode. Oh, I don't know. Wow, this one just keeps on going and going. It's like believe me, believe me, believe me. I'm lying. Here's some more sentences so that you believe me and get lost. However, Earth's atmosphere is held in place by the Earth's gravity. The force of gravity pulls the gases that make up the atmosphere towards the Earth's surface and keeps them from being pulled away into space. So wait a minute. Earth's gravity, its core, its iron core, is so strong that it's holding the earth, the soil down, trees down, mountains down, and it's so strong that it's holding the oceans down and all of the little molecules of air and nitrogen and helium, even though helium wants to go up, is holding it into place perfectly. Like, it's not like, because Earth is moving, right? It's speeding through the galaxy, it's speeding through space itself. So how come Earth isn't a ball and its atmosphere is like a round, you know what I'm saying? Like, how come Earth isn't like an eye? Okay, let me pull this up on a bill, on an old bill. So, we got Earth, and we got it going this way through space. Then that means that the atmosphere should have a tail, like an asteroid. There you go. Why doesn't Earth have a tail like that? If this is the Earth and it is moving through space, then how come it doesn't have the atmosphere? Like how come the sky isn't bigger? How come we're not lighter on this side of the Earth whenever we're at the back of the Earth? How come we're not lighter? How come we can't jump higher? How come the clouds? How come the clouds aren't really really high up there and really squished on one side. So you have the clouds here, close to Earth, low to Earth because it's moving this way. And then, but in the tail, the clouds have more leeway and it's being pulled, right? Because we're going like, what, 60,000 kilometers an hour or some shit. How come it's not being pulled away from the Earth? Hey, that's a really good question to ask. You know what I'm saying? It's a good question to ask yourself. Good question to ask anybody in a debate. Okay, let's get back to this. This is similar. This is similar to how Earth's gravity holds objects onto the surface, such as buildings and people, in place. Additionally, the Earth's atmosphere is constantly being replenished by various natural processes. Additionally, the Earth's atmosphere is constantly being replenished, such as volcanic activity, the evaporation of water from the oceans, and the respiration of plants and animals. These processes continuously add new gases to the atmosphere to maintain its density and pressure. Wait a minute, but hold on. Hold the phone. How come hold on, y'all. How come the gravity is so strong to hold down the oceans, the mountains, the soil, the trees, and the clouds, and all this, but yet the natural processes such as volcanic activity spewing the smoke up, rising and rising and rising into the atmosphere, it doesn't hold that down? How come it gets out of the volcano at all? Like, if a volcano reaches down to like the core of the earth and that's where the lava is, how does it let out smoke at all? The evaporation of water from the oceans, so the oceans can be held down by the gravity, but it doesn't hold up the little evaporating particles. Oh, because, you know, gravity is selective, and the bigger you are, the heavier you are, and so the more gravity affects you. So how come if I shoot a bullet next to a mountain, the bullet doesn't curve? And the respiration of plants and animals. This is crazy. It's worth noting that some gases in the Earth's atmosphere, such as hydrogen and helium, are light enough to escape into space over time. However, these gases make up only a small fraction of the Earth's atmosphere. So how are they produced in the first place? When I breathe in air and I exhale the carbon dioxide, am I exhaling helium and am I exhaling hydrogen? And their loss is balanced by the continuous input of gases from the natural processes. Wow. So Earth gravity can pull gases to the ground, but it can let some other gases escape. Oxygen doesn't escape, but helium and hydrogen, they escape. Woo! That is just crazy. Let's ask another question just for shits and giggles. Will Earth's oblate spheroidal is spheroidal a word? Spheroidal adjective shaped like a epsiloid. See, why isn't the Earth like? Why aren't there planets out there like this by now in the blue? How come we don't have planets like this by now? There should be old ass moons floating around that look like that. The I'm like, moon should look like this. Right here, I got it. Looky. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the proof. This is what we're saying. I found it. I found a picture to explain what I'm talking about. How come some of them aren't shaped like this? Like they just fucking flipped over, or the, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is going on? So spheroidal. Let me calm down. Spheroidal is a word. Will Earth's oblate spheroidal shape ever progressively flatten into a disc-like object? Will Earth's oblate spheroidal shape ever progressively flatten into a disc-like object? Okay, let's ask Woo, we killing it. No, why not? Why the fuck not? No, the Earth's oblate spheroid shape is not expected to flatten into a disc-like object. At least it's understanding what I'm saying. The shape of the Earth is determined by the balance between the force of gravity, which pulled the Earth mass towards the center, and the centrifugal force, which pushes the Earth's mass away from the center due to its rotation. So we have the mass of the Earth, the core, pulling the mass, the matter in. It's holding it in, is what it's saying. And then the centrifugal force, which flies us off like a dryer or like a basketball. You know, when you're playing ball and it starts raining, or your ball goes into a puddle and you got to spin it up, and then it spins off of the equator of the ball, and it sprays you. And if you don't run out of the way, it's gonna spray up your whole hoodie and shit. It's saying, so there's a balance between the gravity pulling everything in and the force which is pushing everything out due to its rotation. So it's balanced is what it's saying. While the Earth's rotation does cause it to bulge at the equator and flatten at the poles, this effect is limited by the strength of the Earth's gravitational field, which holds the planet together in its current shape. But how the fuck did it get there in the first place? What okay, Earth started off as a fiery lava mass that broke off from the sun or whatever, and it got hit and created the moon and all this shit, and it sent it on its tilt, its wobble, and it sent up so much debris into the air and so much pollution of like carbon into the air, the gases, that it blocked the sun from penetrating and further heating up the mass that we call Earth, and it cooled and condensed. The cooling and condensing, remember they taught us that. And then algae started to form, and that very acidic oceans started to form, so the algae started purifying it, and then as it started to acid rain, it started to clear up the atmosphere, and the algae helped to convert the CO2 gases into oxygen, and over, time and time again, with more eruptions, repeating the process of blocking out the sun, and then more algae clearing out the atmosphere, and then eruptions blocking out the sun, and then clearing, and the rains cooling, and all this stuff. And then finally you're getting oceans and seeing land masses from the dried lava. We finally have an Earth, and at some point in that creation system, it turned into an oblate spheroid, and ever since then has been locked in and consolidated to that one shape. That was like a fucking mind fuck. That was a brain bender, okay? Holy shit. Neil deGrasse Tyson is like on the other end of this chat GPT, like, the Earth is an oblate spheroid, and while the Earth's rotation does cause it to bulge at the... Okay, it is worth noting, it's always worth noting something, that the Earth's shape is not completely static, and there are various natural factors that can cause it to change slightly over time. I just asked you and you just told. For example, the movement of the tectonic plates can cause changes in the distribution of mass on the Earth's surface, which can in turn affect its shape. Well, if the Earth is spinning at 100 miles per hour at the equator and staying still basically at the poles, and the further down you go to the equator, the faster and faster it spins, all of the moving tectonics should be accumulated at the equator. Just like if our ball fell into a muddy puddle and you spin it, all of that mass goes to the equator where it's spinning the fastest and flies off. So we should have the highest mountains and all that stuff at the equator, but that's not the case. But now it's saying that Earth's shape is fluid. However, these changes occur very slowly over so long, millions of years, that don't even worry about it. It's too big, you can't see it. It's so long, you can't see it. These changes occur very slowly over millions of years and are unlikely to cause Earth to flatten into a disc-like object. Wow. 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 Shout out to Owen Wilson. Wow. Wow. That's spectacular. Wow. Crazy, y'all. I can't even believe this shit right now. Let's see. Um, are there any evidences of land existing beyond, beyond South America, as Admiral Byrd has implicated? Are there any evidences that are there any evidences of land existing beyond South America, as Admiral Byrd has implicated? There is no specific evidence that supports the claim that there is land beyond the South America, as suggested by Admiral Byrd. The idea of a secret land beyond the Antarctic continent, known as the Hollow Earth or Agartha, is a popular conspiracy. Wow, it's going into some shit I didn't even ask it. Is a popular conspiracy theory, but it is not supported by any scientific evidence. In fact, the existence of a secret land beyond the Antarctic continent has been thoroughly debunked by science expeditions. All it has is, and satellite imagery. That's all I have to say. The continent of Antarctica is surrounded by ocean, and there is no evidence to suggest that there is any land beyond it. Furthermore, the climate and conditions in the Antarctic region are extremely harsh and make it difficult for any significant landmass to exist beyond the continent. What? So, wait a minute. You have so we have Antarctica as a continent in the most extreme weathers, and at the very center of it is the most extreme, and anything beyond that is a little bit more habitable. You know what I mean? It's a little bit more conducive to life. Anywhere you go out from the pole, South America, South Africa, Australia, anywhere outside, traveling outward from Antarctica is going to be more habitable. But this says, furthermore, the climate and conditions in the Antarctic region are extremely harsh and make it difficult for any significant landmass to exist. Yo, land masses don't have feelings. They don't need jackets. They don't have colds and flus. If a landmass is gonna exist that's in a harsher environment, it's gonna exist. This is basically saying, past the ice wall, there's nothing, because it's the Antarctic region, the ice wall, is so harsh that it makes it hard for any life to exist beyond that. Admiral Byrd was a famous explorer who made, why are you telling me about him now? Who made several expeditions to the Antarctic region, but his claims of a secret land beyond the continent are not supported by any credible scientific evidence that are widely regarded as myth. Y'all, we just destroyed ChatGPT today. This is a classic episode. Gunshots in the air. Gunshots in the air. Because we just destroyed it. We just killed it, y'all. We just killed it. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I really want to give a shout out to everybody that joined the chat and that has contributed to this little ChatGPT thing. Please hit that like button, hit that share button, and if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, please do so right now, or else you are going to miss out on a lot more exciting things. We have a lot of exciting things coming up, y'all. I got some ideas that are going to blow you away. I don't want to give out too much, but I do definitely have a lot of ideas that's going to blow you away. So definitely, if you're holding any grudges with family, let it go. If you have a life to live and aspirations, go chase them, and never give up. Never give up on yourself, and never give up on the others that love us. All right, y'all? All right, y'all. I want to say thank you. Happy Friday. We going to rock out with this. Go and do your own little biz. Handle your BI from here to VI. What up? Peace. Peace out. Yeah. Yo, we doing it big. Yeah. Ain't no Jacksons and Triggs up in this ish. Yo, in this bitch. Yo, we getting you. Yo, we got it so like the fireplace. We admire the hate simple criminals. Acting subliminal messages given to the shots and the children. Doing what we can. Ain't trying to be a villain. We try to share our feelings, spread across the ceiling of this mass, this flatland mass at that. And yo, we ask the chat GPT for some shit, but they BS on me. I don't give a fuck. We gon' tear it up. We gon' live it up. See you in the cut, nigga. What? Yeah. Peace. Yeah. Peace. 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 Happy Friday, y'all. Peace. Enjoy your day. Like and subscribe and share.